We're here in Neils Harbor, Nova Scotia. This is a northern Cape Breton fishing village that is on the Atlantic Ocean. And when Fiona hit, that ocean was all over this lawn. A Shed's Landing is no longer there. The shed is over here. There are boulders on the lawn, and the person who manages this property tells us that the waves went up as high as this roof. What you're seeing here is a white house that's covered with brown dried sea foam. Now, when she came here to check it out, to see if everything was okay, to see if there were any leaks, she opened it up to find this. She says the back door, which was bolted, was opened up, that the ocean came in here, leaving sea foam, except for when she was here, it was up to this level. And you can see it on the walls, you can see it on the floor, and look at the kitchen. It's still all over. Just so much devastation here in Nova Scotia, especially Cape Breton. This is just one example of so much destruction. Sarah Plowman, CTV News, Neils Harbor, Nova Scotia.
Tense exchanges on a wharf where commercial and Mi'kmaq fishermen face off in a fight over fishing rights. Earlier in the day, commercial boats came by the dozen, one by one. A flotilla was here to signal its opposition to the wharf, where the Sibäganagani First Nation launched its own fishing fleet Thursday. On shore, tensions grew and waned, and then grew again. On the water overnight, flares were shot toward one vessel.
In the last 24 hours, we've had complaints of shots fired, uttering threats, and property damage.
The crux of the issue is whether a Supreme Court of Canada decision from 21 years ago enables Indigenous fishermen to catch and sell lobster outside of regular lobster fishing season. Levi Paul believes it's his right.
I'm sure to be joining the guys here very shortly, and I'm very excited about it. It took us a long time to make the step that we made.
I don't believe it's illegal. To us, it's just fishing. We created a management plan for this based on conservation.
But commercial fishermen from nearby say it's illegal and hurting conservation efforts. They question why the Department of Fisheries and Oceans hasn't stepped in to stop it.
And this is all we got left here in Southwest Nova. Other than that, I mean, if we fail, our small towns will fail.
Disappointment that fishermen, family men have to do the government's job.
Both sides are calling on the ministers of Fisheries and Oceans to meet with them.
I'm trying to convene a meeting with the First Nations leadership as well as with commercial harvesters or their leadership and myself so that we can have a conversation about what is the best path forward.
While Indigenous fishermen say their lobster traps dropped Thursday have already been cut, they're not backing down.
They're trying to intimidate us and, trying to scare us off and whatnot. But I mean, like I said, we ain't going nowhere, right?
I got nowhere to go. I'll drive 2 hours, come back tomorrow and drive 2 hours again.
Katie and Maria, ever since this tournament began, we've been down here meeting fans from across the country, from as close as Prince Edward Island or New Brunswick or right here in Halifax or as far away as Vancouver. Everybody ecstatic and happy to be here. I think last night, though, topped it all off. There were lows, but seconds later, their moment. Elation in Halifax as Canada clinches the World Junior title.
I told you they're gonna win. They win! Yeah! Go Canada, go! It was the best ending. It was perfect. Let's go! Back in front, Hammer, score! Goes for the tip.
A 2-2 tie pushed the game into overtime, making fans nervous, and this golden goal by Dylan Gunther even sweeter.
I wasn't really expecting that ending, but it was a fantastic time. Canada takes the gold once again. Fantastic.
Fans were ecstatic, celebrating for hours.
This is unbelievable. Canada wins gold while we're in Halifax. The crowd was electric. The whole arena was electric, and this has been spectacular. It is a moment to remember for the rest of my life.
In a region without an NHL or CFL team, hosting the World Juniors in Halifax and Moncton was a big deal. Many fans were dazzled by MVP Connor Bedard, who smashed a World Junior record but still refused to make the win about him.
We're not talking about me. We just won the biggest tournament in the world. And man, I love this group, I love this country. And this team, or this city right here has been unbelievable.
The game fell on Captain Shane Wright's birthday.
Shane Wright on his 19th birthday.
He gave himself the second goal. And in return, Halifax gave him and his team Canada a party. And that party is, well, over now, at least downtown, but the memory of it lives on. Everybody who we've talked to while we're just setting up here has been talking about what happened last night. I think people are a little bit still excited, maybe a little bit exhausted as a fan. It was a long run, even just games before last night against Slovakia, the overtime win, the roller coaster against the USA, and then to win the way they did last night was unbelievable. I mean, you saw it there, the fans' reaction just says it all. Katie and Maria.